CEOs and creators ask me all the time, what technology should I use? Or what should my tech stack specifically be for my community? First of all, what is a tech stack? To be really simple, it's just a list of the different software or technology that you use in order to run your business. When we're talking about community tech stacks, we're talking about software that's going to touch your community operations in some way. That's exactly what we're going to delineate, what that really means, and what technology will touch your community in this video. A lot of people will go out and pick the software that their friend tells them to try out or the one that's the most popular at any given moment without looking at the full landscape and without thinking about their business and their goals. This can be really dangerous. Not immediately, but generally 6 months, 1 year, 2 years into your business when you end up having to migrate to a new platform, or you're constantly second guessing whether you picked the right platform or not, and that takes up a lot of mental energy. So it's important that we actually create an organized tech stack that we can really stand behind when we're building our communities. So what happens when you don't have one? You waste a lot of time and money. You waste that time that you're thinking about whether you picked the right platform or not, and you waste money in terms of maybe picking the wrong platform, paying too much for it, or going with a free platform that's costing you a lot in terms of the energy and time that it's taking to implement and scale it. You're potentially adding future hurdles to the scalability of your business, meaning that if you pick a platform that maybe is free until you reach 500 users and then it goes up to like some crazy number, $20,000 per year after that, after you've reached that threshold, that's going to stop you from maybe wanting to even scale in the first place. But there are many examples of platforms that work really well at a small scale, but then when it comes to really, really large scale, the system falls apart. If you don't have an organized tech stack and one that you really believe in, things can really feel chaotic as well. And that chaos then spills into the experience of your community members, which is what we never want. Our community members are busy and overwhelmed enough as it is. We don't want to add any more overwhelm, confusion, or really, frankly, any kind of situation that's going to be frustrating for them to their lives. Also, if you don't have a tech stack, then much of what you're doing is likely manual, meaning that you're not taking advantage of all of the different features that you could be taking advantage of to put together automations and other processes that could then scale that you could even let go of, delegate to somebody else. Finally, what I see all the time among CEOs and creators is that if they don't have an organized tech stack, the data that they're looking at isn't reliable. They're not sure if what they're doing is actually working, making things better. And so they'll launch new programs, pilots, they'll try out new ideas, and they won't even know if it's working or not because their technology isn't talking to the other technology that might be looking at course completion or that might be looking at views on their YouTube videos. So we've got to find ways to integrate. Now, if you take care of this and get this really organized, it's going to serve you well for years to come. So let's get into the different types of software for you to pay attention to and potentially add to your tech stack. The first and most obvious type of technology to consider is front-end technology, meaning technology that your customers or your community members are going to actually be interacting with and seeing on a regular basis. This is going to include things like your email, your social media marketing channels, your community platform like your Slack, your Discord, your Facebook groups, whatever that might be. It's going to include things like the event platform that you might have chosen to use and your checkout pages and payment processors. It's also going to include things like your learning management system like Teachable or Thinkific, as well as any survey software that you might be putting in to get feedback from folks. I recommend looking at software that's going to help you to get really organized about the front end and software that's going to play really nicely with each other. So if you haven't already considered all of these different front-facing systems, it's time for you to think about what you might be using by default today, or just because you chose it because that's the thing that you knew. And think about if there's a better option, if there's an option that's more efficient or effective for your use case. Second, we have the back-end technology. This is the stuff that your community members often are not even aware that you're using, but you're using it to do things like process the actual payments like Stripe, to do things like pull analytics and data about your community, and to do things like automate technology and automate different systems and processes within your business. Your backend technology for a community, the basics are going to be things like your payment processor, your automation software like a Zapier or If This Then That, and affiliate and referral software that many folks might interface with, but often are not even aware that you're using. And they're able to use that to refer other folks to your community or to go out and spread the word about the community and actually get affiliate credit for that. There are two other really important backend systems to consider. Number one is your CRM or your customer relationship management software, something like a HubSpot, where you can actually put your community members' information in and search it and be able to share it with the rest of your team. And the second is looking at different operating systems that might bring together your different community elements. And these are things like burb.co and Common Room that are going to aggregate the different places where you might be active and then allow you to message on various platforms from one place. All right, so you're aware that there's front-end software and back-end software, but how the heck do you choose what is right for you? In my work, I see people asking three major questions to get clarity on which technology they should add to their tech stack. Number one is pricing. How much risk of price and risk of losing money and risk of choosing the wrong software solution can you bear? Do you need to go with something free, or do you have a little bit more leniency in your budget and you can actually try something out that's going to cost $19 or $70 or even $300 a month? If so, your options expand greatly when you start to do that. Second is, does whatever software you're looking at integrate with the other crucial systems in your community? In my view, the most important systems that there are to work together are your CRM, your email, your community platform, and if you teach courses, your learning management system or LMS. If these are not playing together, then it's really hard to track revenue generation. It's really hard to track referrals. It's really hard to track any kind of business metrics that you might need in order to see how does engagement in the community actually improve our business outcomes. And that makes it really hard to feel motivated to keep investing in the community build. All right, so I've thrown a lot of information at you. Let's look at an example technology stack, and that's the technology stack that we use in our business. First, let's talk about community platforms. So we use a community platform called circle.so, and that is our main hub for where all of our members come together and can communicate and build connections. We also sometimes use Notion for our community platform so that people can actually collaborate on documents and have worksheets that they can come together and comment on together. We will occasionally supplement Circle with Notion. When it comes to marketing, we use Squarespace for our website, Deadline Funnel for promotions, and we use native social media platforms. We just post right on them. In addition, we use ConvertKit and Google Suite for our emails. For invoices and payment processing, we use Samcart for our digital products and Dubsado for all of our client engagements and one-to-one advisory and coaching services. For events, we use Zoom, and for LMS, we've tried everything from Podia to Thinkific to Teachable. And I've settled with Thinkific and Teachable as being the best options if you use Circle, because these two play nicely together. For surveys, I strongly prefer Qualtrics, but it is pricey. So Google Forms works pretty well in most cases. For automations, we use Zapier and burb.co. And for our CRM, we use both Burb and HubSpot to track and look at who is in our community and what it is that they have in common. So I hope that this helps you to put together an actual example of a tech stack to think about which technology might you be missing today that you maybe didn't even know existed, and which technology are you using and you're still not quite confident that it's the right tool for you. Now, I want you to know there's no set it and forget it. I can almost guarantee that if you run your business for more than 2 to 3 years, you're going to change technology 2 to 3 times. Not the full stack, but 1 or 2 systems are likely to change. But what you want to do is minimize that, because it creates a lot of debt in your business, meaning that it's going to create a lot of issues operationally and systematically that as you scale are going to become bigger and bigger and bigger issues. So if you get this right from near the beginning, or you get it right as you're just launching your community, this can be a really good time for you to think about, where are we going to go in the future, and how do I want to see this going from a business perspective? And then we pick the best technology stack that's going to align with that vision. I know this stuff can be kind of dry, but in truth, when you get the right tools, it's so exciting. And No tool is perfect, but it's so exciting to see how you can leverage these tools, deepen your knowledge and mastery of the tools. And I'm finding all the time that there are new ways I can use them and ways I can save myself a ton of time when building and managing my community. If this video was helpful for you, I hope that you'll like and subscribe and check me out on Instagram at Carrie Melissa Jones.